Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another Factorio episode. Today we're going to be looking at setting up red and green science on the main bus. And in order to do that, we're going to start off by getting all of these trees out of the way. I don't think we have any more science that we can currently do without researching either military or blue science. So let's start off by planning a bit for our next science. And I'm gonna, first of all, let's go back to the base because we're gonna be traveling down this path quite a bit. I'm gonna start off by creating a path here. So we need more bricks for that. Now, bricks I don't think we have a buffer chest for bricks, but all of our furnaces are full. Yeah, so we can get plenty of bricks. And let me make sure that I grab a few more resources before I head off. So we have this, we have undergrounds, we have a few chests. I don't think we're gonna need them, but doesn't hurt to have them. And yeah, so that goes here and that goes 2 spaces above the iron line. We can see that our bricks are being depleted quite fast. Let's see how far along we can drag this path. Yeah. Yeah, this was actually quite a lot. Pretty happy with that. So with that out of the way, let's talk about green and red science. With red science, the setup is actually going to be quite easy. We only need copper plates, which we already have on the main bus, and gears. Now, gears we're not going to put on the main bus because they have a pretty heavy throughput, although the ratio is 2 to 1, so that would mean that we would actually save up an entire belt of iron. But for most builds, we'll be able to just have them on the spot. So we can see that we need 2 iron plates and the crafting time is 0.5 seconds. And we need 1 gear for 1 automation science pack, and that takes 5 seconds. So if I'm not mistaken, 1 assembly machine that produces gears will be able to fully supply 10 assembling machines that produce automated science packs. So that's the ratio that we're going to build at. Now let's take a look at the logistics science packs. For logistics science packs, we need transport belt and inserters. Now for transport belts, we need iron plates and gears. For inserters, and we actually need 1 gear per 0.5 seconds, so that's at the same ratio that we're producing. For inserters, we again need 1 iron gear and 1 iron plate, and also an electronic circuit, and we need again per 0.5 second 1 iron gear, which means that we'll need another dedicated iron gear factory. So I'd like to start off this build by, first of all, I like to leave a 3 gap space between my builds. So I like to start off by doing the requirements for green circuits, for green science packs, for logistics science packs first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a lane through here with electronic circuits and a lane through here with iron plates. Okay, we have a research. We have visitors. I did not expect visitors this soon. I guess we're polluting one of the nests below us because we have the attack coming here. And yeah, we're gonna take a quick break from doing that and go push that biter nest. Okay, it was a very mild attack. We only lost 4 belts, which is not much. Nothing major happened, but when there's one, there's gonna be many. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly jump in my car. Oh, I've never actually built my car. So this is something new that we're gonna see here. And cars need fuel to work as well. I'm just gonna use coal for now. I'm trying to figure out which biter base we have polluted. And because I don't, we're not polluting these two yet, that means that an expansion base probably popped up somewhere. If I was to venture a guess, somewhere either around here or around here. But I'm gonna check the bottom side first. And in order to get there, I'm actually gonna go to the right here to avoid forest. Now, driving a Factorio is not one of the most pleasant things because if you run into any sort of obstacles, that's basically gonna slow your car to a stop, and especially when, yeah, that's the base. Especially when biters are chasing you, that's not a very nice thing to do. So I'm gonna quickly pull off here, get my grenades. This is just the one base. I don't think we'll have any major issues. Yeah, this is gonna be a very quick base push. I'm quickly gonna explore that side as well to make sure that we don't have any surprises around there. These are the two bases that we already saw. And yeah, I believe that this is about it here. No new bases, no expansions. Yeah, we're set. So we can go back to our science pack layout on the main bus. And yeah, while we get there, I'm quickly going to be talking about the layout for green science packs. So we're going to have a line here with that consists of 4 assembling machines. I'm just going to line them like this. And I'm going to keep a space of 3 in the middle and then another 2 machines. So this is going to produce gears, same as this one. This is going to produce transport belts, and this is going to produce inserters. This is going to be an iron line that's going to run all the way to the top factory. And here we're going to have a quick gap to allow our electronic circuits to go through. And we're going to have an output belt here that's going to come like this and just go straight up. And here is where we're going to have our logistics and spec production. So let's quickly wire these ones up. I'm going to use fast inserters everywhere. And this. And I believe that this should be good. Now let's drag resources here. So we've branched off the first belt, we've branched off the second belt, now I'm gonna be branching off the third belt. And we're out of underground belts. I should really grab some gears next time I'm in the main base. So 2 lanes here are skipping. We're branching off the third belt, delivering resources over here. Now this one is gonna be electronic circuits. Let me make sure I have them aligned properly. This is the first time we're branching, so we're gonna be branching off the first line. And we already see that the belts are starting to come through. We only need electronic circuits here. And we have inserters. And yeah, this should be, we actually have double the transport belt production because this is producing 2 transport belts per 0.5 seconds. This is producing just 1 inserter. So we're gonna be scaling everything down to the output of this factory. But even so, this is 1 inserter per 0.5 seconds. This is 1 logistic pack per 6 seconds. So we'll be able to supply this, 12 assembling machines, and that's gonna produce us the ratio that we've talked about earlier of 2 science packs per second. And with that in mind, I'm actually gonna copy paste this whole assembly here to make everything way easier, and we're actually gonna take things upward. We have a few trees in the way. I'm quickly gonna get rid of them, hopefully without damaging too much of everything else. Yeah, perfect. And this is how easy it is to actually build things once the main boss is set up. And that's probably going to be the pattern that we're going to be following for the remainder of the game. We're going to put resources on the main boss, and we're going to branch off the main boss and do our builds, and either build science packs or in some cases put resources back on the main boss. Now we need to have our second side of the column with red science packs. And for red science packs, we actually need to have a iron gear factory to begin with. And for that, we need to have an iron belt here that we're gonna grab from. We're gonna output on the far side of the belt. So the far side of the belt, the right hand side of the belt is gonna be iron gears, and we need to bring copper on this side of the belt. So we're gonna have iron coming through here. Let me see, I only have 2 of these. I'll need to do at least 1 more. I'm gonna do however many I can. And this is gonna be copper. So this is the 4th line of iron that we're gonna be using. And we're gonna follow the exact same pattern that we followed in the previous cases. So we have iron flowing through. And this should give us iron gears on one side of the belt. This is gonna be copper. Now, I'm not gonna build anything there. You're gonna see why in just a second. But for now, Let's get copper onto that belt. We've branched off the first line, we've branched off the second line, we need to branch off the third line now. So it's gonna look like this. And finally, we have our 10 red science assembly machines. We've already did the math on the ratios. We need how many we need to put. We know how many we need to put. That's gonna look like this. We're gonna keep the symmetry with the red science packs. And I'm gonna look for a place to put down the labs. I'm just gonna move the whole array of labs, so it's gonna be very easy to compute, and I'm just gonna leave a bit of buffer here. I might want to expand this in the future once we move on to different grades of belts. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna put the labs down here. I'm gonna leave a bit of space, and I'm gonna change the connection just a bit. So we're gonna have belts running through here, and first yeah, it's gonna look like this for now. We're gonna have the second belt. Well, let's do it like this. Let's have it run on that side. I need to connect power here, and I need to go grab all the labs. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. And probably off camera between episodes, because I don't think that's gonna be an interesting thing, I'm gonna look at removing all of the science production here. But also, I'm not actually gonna take the labs now. I'm gonna move the labs off camera as well, because that's gonna be a pretty boring thing to do, and I'm pretty sure you want to see me doing more interesting stuff than just moving things around the base. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to prepare for blue science. And as we've talked a couple of episodes ago, we need to set up oil. And I don't think we're gonna postpone that any longer. I'm just gonna go quickly clear my inventory, because I have a lot of things here that I don't really want to have. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of all the coal that has gathered in my inventory. And we do have pump jacks. I think I need a few more big electric poles. I definitely need more pipes to ground. So let's go grab a bit more of everything actually. So we're gonna need pipes to ground. We're gonna need a few more pipes. Inserters, I'm doing quite well with those. Make sure that I can craft at least one radar. I don't think I have any more stacks of iron plates, so I'm just gonna grab a few from here. And I actually want to craft quite a few big power poles, big electric poles, to be able to drag electricity to the crude oil patch. And yeah, I think we have everything we need. I'm gonna hop into my car, steal a bit of coal from over there, and as we progress, I'm gonna probably remove some of these electric poles, but for now I'm just gonna drag them like this. Let me see. I actually need to go down, and there's a big forest here. I really dislike driving through forests, so I'm just gonna go around the forest and hopefully around my power poles. This wasn't that long of a ride. So yeah, now we can see the pump jacks in action. And I think I managed to get all of them. Yeah, six of them. I don't know why I have 10 crafted. I've probably miscalculated when I build them. But as you can see, these have the output on the corner, unlike the mining drills which output on the center. So the easiest way to connect this is draw a straight line through the middle and then connect everything using the underground pipes. We could probably just drag regular pipes all the way through, but again, the problem with dragging a straight line of pipes is that you cannot walk past it, and I find that quite annoying. So we're gonna leave everything as this for now. I'm gonna put a radar here, right in the middle, and let's connect power. Not the prettiest way, but it works, so I'll take it. And I want to drag the pipe over here, so we're just gonna go on a hopefully 90-degree angle, so it's all the way up there. Yeah, so we need to go down here right underneath the cliff and then go left. So let's do that, making sure that I've picked up my car. I tend to forget my car in random places on the map, but this time I think we have it with us, so it's all good. Now, unfortunately, here we're right on the cliff, so we're not gonna be able to go down that path. So I'm gonna do a very quick bend here. And now I'm gonna align everything with this one. So it needs to be here. Perfect. So while we're dragging the pipe back to our base, let's talk about the setup that we're gonna do next. I believe that I have already crafted 10 oil furnaces. Sorry, they're not called oil furnaces, they're called oil refineries. So that's what we're gonna be placing next. I will put a buffer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is gonna go in here, and then out here we're gonna be using pumps in just a bit to keep the system pressurized. You can see that the pipe is actually not full now, it just has 14% load, but oil should start going into the tanks and slowly fill up. So now let's talk about setting up oil refineries. I will keep 3 spaces above. Right now we only have the basic oil processing, which requires crude oil and outputs petroleum gas. In just a bit, once we get Blue Science up and running, we're gonna get a new recipe for oil, which is gonna give us a few more oil derivatives as well. And that is gonna require crude oil and water. So that's why I'm leaving 3 lines above here. We could theoretically get away with only 2 lines, but I find that running 3 lines makes the setup a bit easier to do. And that is because I'm just gonna run a very long, sorry, that's actually gonna be the water line. We're gonna run the oil line like this. So we're gonna use underground and only come out the surface on where we need oil and then go back underground. That way we can go between when we need to. And we're gonna have a power pole in the middle here. And we can just quickly connect to directly to the power plant. And yeah, I'm gonna put 10 of these oil refineries here. I believe I have enough space. I hope I counted the space correctly. And for now, we're just gonna have one continuous line of petroleum flowing through. So this is 4. I need, oh, sorry, that's 5. We need 10 more. Clean up the remainder of our crashed spacecraft. And with that, we have set up 10 oil refineries. This should be plenty of oil refineries. I don't think our oil patch is big enough to accommodate for that many, but we're gonna be looking for oil at some point in the near future. I will quickly place an oil tank here so that we can store off excess oil, have a bit of a buffer. And this is petroleum. Now, the next thing after petroleum that we're going to be setting up is plastic. So plastic requires petroleum, gas, and oil. I will keep a bit of a buffer here. Not that much of a buffer, but I don't know, maybe just 6 spaces. I think that should be enough. And I'm gonna start doing the petroleum setup. Oh, sorry, the plastic setup. The way we can do this, we can actually keep the 2 factories adjacent here and use the right-hand input for one of them and the left-hand input for the other. Have a couple of undergrounds on each side, and that's gonna leave us with one space on the edge for our fast inserters. And we can run our coal belt through here. And we can just duplicate this. And this is gonna be our output belt. We said that we're only gonna do 4 plastic belts to begin with. And I want to stick with that number. We're gonna output like this. And what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm actually gonna switch sides. So 2 factories are gonna output on, they're all gonna output on the bottom side of the belt, but then we're gonna take 2 factories, half of our current stack, and move them onto the inner side of the belt. This way we're producing an equal amount of resources on both sides of the belt. Unfortunately, we have our copper line right here. Now we do need to do one more thing, and that is we need to run power lines. And I think we can run them like this. Yeah, this looks good. We will need to cover these inserters as well. And that still gives us plenty of space here. So I'm happy with that. We might consider moving this setup in a different place as we progress, but for now, once we connect petroleum, we should see plastic starting to pile up on our belts. And the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get this line of plastic onto our bus. So we said that here we're gonna have green circuits, and here we're gonna have, well, first thing is gonna be steel, I believe, and I'm gonna put plastic here. So these are gonna be supposedly 4 lanes of iron going through, 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes of copper. We want 2 lanes of steel, and then over here I'm gonna get our line of plastic. So I'm gonna be reusing this line over here. I'm gonna leave a bit of gap. I've just realized that our electric plant is actually overlapping with our smelting arrays here, which is not ideal, but we will figure something out at some point. So this is where our plastic line is gonna come through. And yeah, let's go connect this to our main bus. I think we said somewhere over here. Not the cleanest array, but it will have to do for now. So we want to connect that one here. And I said that I actually want 2 lines of plastic, so that's gonna be plastic. And this is gonna be our sulfur line, which is the next thing that we're gonna be producing. And but I think we're at time for this episode, and while I quickly go and grab a few more belts because I have run out of quite a few ingredients, I'm gonna collect just a bit more. Oh no, actually, we still have plenty of everything else, I think. So we don't need to collect anything else. We do need to build a few more small electric poles. But yeah, while that's building, in the next episode, we're gonna be looking at doing a quick sulfur setup. And once we have sulfur, we will have all the ingredients on the belt, all the raw ingredients on the belt to be able to do our blue science pack. So we will set up a red circuit array over here, and then do on this side do our blue science, and potentially in the next episode most likely we'll look at doing our military science over here. With that being said, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you here next time.